Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. Need to check mine as well. Good. Right. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Um, Perfect. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's turn me up ever so slightly. Right. So today we are going to be working on the Herald's Guide. I am currently trying to put together some stuff for the Hollow King, a bit of lore about what the conflux is and why he's so important to the lore in this era of Azeroth. Um, I've had some notes on it in the past. I've been sort of working on it slowly. What I'd like to do today is try and put together a solid amount of information that I can then write into the Herald's Guide itself. So I'm aiming for I don't know, I don't know how many words, but I want to get a good section of it done today so that we can sort of just get started with it. Um, so, right, let's see. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, so I've got my notes. We could just read through them a bit. I've not actually gone on this notebook for a while, so I've got my obsidian here. Oh gosh, don't have that one. We'll do. So we have the Hollow King. His name is Valdren. He is Dravik's younger brother. He was banished, spent centuries in the Vortex, and came back changed slightly. Um, my idea for him was what happens if someone is sort of like looking for revenge, but everyone you want revenge on is gone when you come back. You obviously still have the rage, you still have that emotional turmoil that you have to deal with. So what do you do? And I was looking at some inspiration for this. One of them is Viego from League of Legends. If you've not seen what he looks like, I can grab him quickly as well. Viego. Here he is. The in-game model is so bad. It's not what we want. So you can see why he's an inspiration. But, oh my god. We'll just do the artwork. There he is. You can't see him because of that, but there he is, right there. Okay, so big inspo. Mainly because he is someone who's obsessed with his dead wife. He is obsessed with the ruination as a way to bring her back. He has actual grief that is then brought into becoming like the world-ending part. So he sort of twisted that. Then you have Arthas / the Lich King from World of Warcraft. He is got that fallen from grace idea. He became the thing that you fought against. He is very much the epitome of you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And then we've got Morpheus as well from Sandman, which I was watching recently. Just a lot of tragedy, I think, is the thing here. Broken hero, classic I can fix him vibes. You know, that's the way we're going with this. I'm just gonna move Obsidian a bit so that it's there, so you guys can still read. I don't want Sauron. I think that's very much clear in my in what I'm gonna do with him. Sorry, just get rid of that. And yeah, I wanted his justification of anger to be real, but not also something that you're like, oh, I feel sorry for him. I want people to be evil just because. I don't want them to always be justified, but people like the Hollow King don't need to be that. They can just be sort of like, they can have that a bit more tragedy, less I want to rule the world. So yeah, we got some backstory bits that I started typing up as well. We have Celeria. I just, like, when I was writing it, I was just kind of on this idea of Valdrin loved her, but Dravik married her for politics. Obviously, people who've read Legends of Azeroth know why that isn't the case and why that can't be real. You know, like, Dravik did it not for himself. He did it because he needed to. It was a must. And obviously, Valdrin was very much in love with her. And yeah, I don't know. We need to just try and figure that out. So the basic idea is I want to try and fill him into the core rulebook, or the Herald Guide, sorry, in a way that makes sense for him and what he's going to be inside the narrative here. So I don't know which way I want to do it. There have been other books I've looked at which have a good layout for something like this. So we'll look at the Stormlight Archive one. The World Guide has a few good tidbits for that, on like basically how a character can be useful both in and out of sort of like gameplay. That's the basic idea. So yeah, let's see if we can do that. So let's look at Shallan. So it's got some detail on her. It gives a bit of heavy, well, I say heavy, gives a bit of exposition on who she is if you aren't familiar. Then it gives you some detail on her early life, her personas. Oh, actually, probably shouldn't do this. Okay, there will be very light spoilers for the Stormlight Archive. Unfortunately, this book doesn't really tell you much as to what is going to be spoiled. Yeah, here we go. So this book encompasses the first 5 novels. Unless specified, each chapter describes the world as it exists in following year following Oathbreaker. So if you are planning on reading Stormlight Archive and you don't want to know about certain characters, I would recommend coming back in a few minutes. I will be done with this in a couple of minutes. I will timestamp it in the YouTube video, but for now it is. But we kind of need to discuss characters. So yeah, I like the fact that they go over who she is, her early life, a bit more of her childhood, a bit more on her persona and her personality. Like, because her as a character, scholarship and artistry and that sense of knowledge is very important to her. They write that a lot as well. And then they talk about her relationships with other characters, goals, rewards for players, patron benefit if she should be someone who's helping someone in her patronage. You know, stuff like that's very cool. And they do the same for Szeth. They do the same for Lift. They do a lot for the characters. Some shorter than others, obviously minor versus major characters. This guy's obviously a major character, so we could probably start with the grand scope of who he is a bit. So just come back to this so we can just think about it for a minute. I like his concept of broken. I like the concept of him being someone who has been betrayed. I think that was very much where I want to go with it. I don't like the idea of him only being, motivated by a sense of grief. I think he needs a bit more than that. But then again, that is up to a herald to decide. I'm going to just give you the lore. If Herald wants to add a bit more than that, that's entirely up to him. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Like, what kind of villains excite you to fight, excite you to read about, just excite you in general? That would be helpful. I've always liked the trope of misplaced rage. I love the idea of you're still mad and want revenge, but everyone is dead. It's so good. I love villains that you can understand their motivation and maybe see a reflection in yourself, but you know there is another way. It depends on the story that's trying to be told. Simple but executed well has its place, but so do complex ones. Broad answer, I know. That is very true. Okay. I like the idea that he was in the vortex. I think that whole absence, the void, he's been twisted by something he couldn't even understand. He was sent there against his will. All of that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That does make sense. Alright. Now I'll have the chat up here. And then we can sort of go from there. Alright. Let's start writing then. I really don't know how many words I want to actually write today. We'll just start writing. See where we're at. So we'll just start. Hello, hi, Crimson Dragon Draconis. Welcome. It is lovely to have you here. Hollow King is a faceless. He does have a face, but to be fair, I do say in the timeline that he isn't sovereign. Faceless sovereign. But in general, a villain who's good, the hero of their own story and totally justified in their own way, is very good. I agree with that. I would say that is true. I like those types of stories as well. I am very much a fan of the villain who's a villain for the sake of being villain. You know, like they are just evil, but definitely has its place. Who emerged from the Mirren Scar 30 years after the Battle of Iletos. What name did I give it again? Valdrin. So he was a younger brother of Dravik. Valdrin, the younger brother of Dravik. Just trying to think what will sort of work here. So the younger brother of King Dravik, I could say King Dravik. I don't know, Dravik already has like some notes. He's not really the key of this story, but he is part of it, so maybe. Valdrin was banished for Crimes against the crown. No, what is it called? What's that word? Treason. Treason. Crimes against the crown. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of him being taken in for treason when actually he wasn't the villain. You know? Yeah. Yeah. This time was spent inside the vortex. Potato here, just lurking while I get ready for work. Hello, welcome. It's very nice to have you here. Yeah. His mind was warped by the time spent inside the vortex. Fury turning into anger. I like that. Anger turning into rage. Focus being turning into rage. He seeks no throne. Ooh. He seeks no throne. I like that. He seeks no throne. It's a good one too. I'm just trying to think of the actual what we can put down here. So he seeks no throne. If I can't have unity, then no one can. He seeks no throne. Grief turned into into rage. So something I hate everyone. That's what I'm feeling here. Okay, I'm seeing it. Alright. He seeks no throne, but he's also angry. But he's angry about the fact that his brother took someone away from him, and I guess he also doesn't want, which would make sense if we consider Tirafel as one of his allies. We could establish that quite nicely, because if I remember, if I've noted it here somewhere correctly, Tirafel. Shadowland encounters. Yeah. We don't want any of that. We want law. Give me the law. Tirafel. No attack roll. Here we go. Regions. Tirafel. The Kingless. So they do not like the fact that there is a king. They are very much no thrones for anyone. So that would make sense if we turn around and say he seeks no throne and ensures that no others may claim one either. That ties him nicely into Tirafel and makes sense why they would be his allies, should we ever write anything that expands on this. I like the fact that his presence destabilizes. Oh god, can't spell. Thank god for autocorrect. Oh, am I doing? I can't remember if I did US English. We'll just do that. That sounds better. Destabilizes the world around him because he's from the vortex, which I also need to write a chapter on at some point. The vortex is quite important. It requires that information. So we've got this woman. I think I might want a better name for her than that though. So we'll do English to Icelandic. I want something that means moon, love, peace. Frieder ast Tungel. Okay, Tungel ast Frida. Fridast. I like that. Freed. Like Frida. Take the A from there. Take these. Okay. Just write this down somewhere here. Frida. I like that. That's quite nice. It means peace. So we can take that. Yeah. Frida. Yeah. Cool. Like that. Frida, he loved her, but he married her for politics. You take everything because he's the older brother. He is the one who is what's the word, in line for the throne. Yeah. Honestly, Icelandic is my go-to. Alright, so I'll show you. We'll switch it back and then we'll just do that. What was it? Heimstra literally translates to homecoming in Norwegian, because it's the idea that the world tree is where you come home. That's where I got the name from. It was also because Heim in sort of like Nordic was like realm, so you had Helheim, you had Valheim, you know, all this. I took that, and it means like realm or home, and then homecoming from Norwegian to English. So the actual word means homecoming, which was perfect for the world tree, which is why it's called Heimistre. It was just, I don't know, it's just something that I went with. But Icelandic is my most often used language. I'm a big fan of it. So, yeah. So, peace. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Fred. That's quite funny. It's funny though, you go to something like Icelandic, you got like Frida, and then you go to Norwegian and you've got Fred. But yeah, I like Hungarian as well. Beerka. Polkoj. Yeah, cool. It's good stuff though. It is good stuff. So Frida is a name. We've already noted that down, so we can delete that. But yeah, he seeks no. That's neat. Fred on earth and goodwill to men. There you go. Exactly. He determines the world around him. When arriving in Batasian. Batasian. His influence spread like poison. Yeah. Some okay, that brings me there, and then I can just, because I like to have some stuff there. So the betrayal. We do want to discuss the actual events behind what happened to him. I don't like just the, you took everything from me, you know. So I want this timeline wise, this needs to be before, the actual betrayal needs to happen before he was crowned as king. Otherwise it makes no sense, because Dravik was one of the greatest kings of Akaroth, at least in the lore. They very much look up to him as one of the better ones. So, like, better than King Leona, or whatever. Leonis? Oh, I can't remember. Better than one of the best kings that they've ever had. So his betrayal of his brother needs to be very solid, very visceral. So yeah, Azun says, "What did I miss? We are writing lore for the Hollow King. I'm currently sort of like just writing some bits and bobs, and let me see if I can do the thing. I want to see if it can follow how many words I'm writing, but it doesn't seem to be able to. But that's fine. Yeah. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm just trying to think of the betrayal before Dravik. So Dravik unified all of the like lost tribes of Azeroth. He made Azeroth what it is. Unified everyone under one banner, and he was not just crowned King of Eric. He was King of Azeroth. That's huge. You don't just do that. That like you are an important man if you were able to do that. Just trying to think what the betrayal's level could be. But they have to be different, right? They have to be different. I think Dravik being a good person is fine because I don't want that thing of like, oh, in the secret, you were actually evil. I don't want that. I want Dravik to be a good person. I've already established that. The lore that you get in Legend of Azeroth obviously twists that slightly, but it makes sense given the context behind it. So there's that too. So what we could do is we could say before Dravik unified Azeroth under one banner, they both... Oh, you know what we could do? You know what we could do? What was it called? Shadows. What is it called? Star Wars: The Old Republic. Shadows. The Shadows of the Empire. Oh, what was it called? Star Wars: The Old Republic. It had a expansion which was dope. And I cannot remember what it was called. Knights of the Fallen Empire. That's it. That is it. Okay. So what we'll do, I will see if I can do this. Yeah, output capture. So that might work. Just test this out.
A man can have anything if he's willing to sacrifice. With your birth comes a solemn vow. You will have nothing. Your privilege is the dirt. In the darkness, only ambition will guide you. The oaths you swear, the promises you make, they are yours alone.
So I'm a big fan of that. I love the idea that there was someone above them who was sort of like playing with, like toying with them a bit, and embedding this idea of um, you're not good enough. I mean, trauma is one of those things that really does define someone. So this was a really good. Um, what's the what's the way? This is a really good way of doing that. I love the story that they try to tell here with the two brothers, one of them being resentful of the father, one of them just accepting the crown for what it is. Love the white and black, beautiful. This was peak writing, I will say. So we'll continue watching this.
Your freedom will be the wars you wage. Your birthright, the losses you suffer. Your entitlement, the pain you endure. And when darkness finds you, you will face it alone.
Just a little subtle thing here. If you know the lore behind Star Wars, you can see by the yellow eye here, which he did not have in the previous frame, he is now gone to the dark side. So that's a fun fact. Very cool. And another fun fact, if you notice there as well, the red eye actually disappears when he realizes that he's killed his brother. This is the kind of stuff I'm a big fan of. I love it when they do stuff like this in Star Wars. Obviously, this is not a Star Wars stream, but I just yeah. Um, and just another subtle thing that they do here, you can't see it unless you zoom in, but he has also got yellow eyes, which hints at the fact that he is also a Sith Lord, which is insane. It was insane when, like, 10 years ago, when I saw this, it blew my mind. This is the kind of stuff I love. So, okay, let's establish what we've sort of learnt here from this then. So I'll make a new note and we'll just start writing it. I will say notes on law. I like the idea of father betrays, forces. Well, both brothers love each other. I like that. They start off by loving each other. Father's neglect ends up um, forcing them down different paths. One brother grows neglect to a point of no return, is forced into a um oh, I mean, it's puppeteered, right? He's puppeteered into killing his own brother slash doing something he can't take back. Yeah, puppeteered is a word. Puppeteered, I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'll just I'll add it to my dictionary. Um, and then father finally accepts son when he does the unthinkable. Darkness overtakes him because all he wants is to be accepted. That this thing, they did all of that lore in what? How many minutes is it? 4 minutes. 4 minutes they managed to gather all of that lore. That is insane ability of world building right there. It's one of my favorite cinematics from Star Wars. But yeah, it is a I think that's a fun thing to do. So the betrayal makes sense to me as something like I like the idea that um they were both young. They were both betrothed to this noble family, right? And he didn't really, or one of them was betrothed to the noble family, and he started enjoying time with one of the younger daughters of the family. Time goes on. He finds, that they start falling in love, but they can't be together because it's not his time. The families have already married into each other, and the whole point of being part of the crown is that they need to broaden the horizons. So their nobility is broadened by the families that they marry into. But he is happy to denounce his claim to the throne in order to marry into that royal family, much like his brother did. I think that's cute. I think that's nice. But twist, the older sister dies due to, I don't know, some illness. I'll think of an illness. So the next in line to marry Dravik for the politic reason is Freda. So Dravik marries Freda. Dravik did not choose to; he is forced to do so by his father. But what's it called? Valdren cannot see past the idea of his brother taking everything. He's the one who gets crowned at every war. He's the one that's called the war hero. Not Valdren, even though he's more powerful than his brother. He is always called the one who is the the honored one. That's the idea. Like Dravik is just seen as the better one always, and he is always second fiddle. That is an exciting concept to me, if I'm to be completely honest. So yeah, that's quite good. I like that. So before Bravik, they were brothers who were inseparable. Their bond was known, their abilities legendary. It was said that their father. So we got Valdren, Dravik. I'm trying to think of a name. Valdren, Dravik. We'll go with another Icelandic to English name. I don't know. Betrayer. No. Oh yeah, translate from English. Sorry. Svikari. Oh, oh, that is a sick name. Their father, Svikari, was the noble head of House. He was. Oh well, he was called King Dravik. I don't think I ever gave him of House Dravik. Yeah. Of King, I don't think I ever gave Dravik a name unless I did but if I did, I can't remember it. We'll just see Dravik. Okay, cool. We'll just check the core rulebook as well. Dravik. Nope, just King Dravik. I haven't given Dravik a name, so we'll just go with. We got Valdren. Valdren. Betrayer. Svikari Dravik. Oh, such a sick name. Um, go with something like I don't know, Honored. Yeah, I like Honored. Hydra. Raider. Raider. Haid. Honored one. Haider Ein. Main. I like Hein. But let's see. Honored one. The one who left it all behind. San Sim Skildi Beta F tier. Skill. Kill. Aragorn. Arathorn. And you got. Hmm. Aragorn. Very cool. Basque roots, meaning high valley. Haran. Go. Oh, okay, cool. There's no way. High valley. Let's just. Okay, cool. I like that. Hmm. So we've got Sivkari, Svirka, Svikar, and he called his son Svikor, brother of King Arathorn, Svikor, Svikar. Yeah, I like that. He gave his son. That's it. Like I love that. Of the he was named Svikar. He gave his son the name Svikor, and he just named his other son Valdren, which means nothing. It's not even a name tied to his ancestors. He's just gone, oh, this is just another son I have. I like the idea that Valdren was quote unquote an accident. He didn't mean to have another child, but there was nothing he could do. You know, obviously he just kept the child and just let the mother name him. You know, we could just have that. I like Valdren. Yeah, cool. Was a noble. It said that their father. It's no. Their father. It was not said. Their father Svikar was the noble head of House Dravik. His influence across the realm was held in high regard, and as such, his son was expected to marry into the greatest of those houses, greatest of the remaining houses, House. What do we name her? Freda. Um, I like the idea that she was a Drakari. Drakari's good. Well, cool. We'll go for the word. I like that. Good eye. House greatest of the remaining houses. House Goodeye of Eric. As time went on, uh, before unified Acheron, as time went on, was infatuated was bonding with his betrothed, and what's his name? Oh yeah, sorry, music. There we go. And Valdren. As time went on, oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me 2 seconds. I'll just go to this. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have got Svikor bonding with his betrothed. I think we need to add some more lore just before this. Their bond with an ability is legendary. Both sons were warriors of the highest regard, many noting their skill in battle. Only dwarfed was on par with the twinned kings of Batesian. Whether or not that is true, noting the skill was on par with twin kings of Batesian. Their bond was known, their abilities legendary. Both sons were warriors of highest regard. Yeah. Of the highest level. Many noting that their skill in battle was on par. This time of their lives was peaceful. But as with all things, both brothers were as equals. The days left behind I'll probably change these names to something more, but you know, it gives me a rough start. As we call was always the hero of war, vile. was. Threat was. He is lucky to have a brother. Okay. Their father, Svikar, was the noble head. Oh, he doesn't. Well, we already know that was the head of House Dravik. His influence across the realm was known, and as such, his sons were expected to marry in the greatest of the remaining houses, House Garai of Eric. As time went on, Svikor was betrothed. Of this house, and Valdrin spent many days there. Making sure that do the little thing, but I don't know how to do it on was it he was making sure that he was able to spend time with his fiancée. Spent run on sentence, I think. With house. This house. I don't spend many time making sure he was able to spend time with his fiancée. It was during this time that he met. I'll grab her name. That he met Rita, a beautiful younger sister. Run away together. This was not what the gods planned. One day, during actually planned to run away together with Valdrin, even willing to give up what was left. This was not what the gods planned. One day, during a routine, I don't know, Eric into Mayfalls. The envoy of their convoy was attacked. right there. Cursing the gods. Cursing the gods. Surprised it didn't catch that. As a love for super breed. It was here that shocked both brothers. Naming his brother. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd be pissed off too, to be honest. Obviously, I'll be editing this as we go, but I like that. Just trying to think what else we could do there. We'll keep going with this, but we are now at 1 hour, so I do need to end the stream. But I'll keep writing, and then I'll write as much as I can now, try and get the page filled, and then send out the update for today. I'll showcase if you would like to see what the newest pages are as well. Let me know if you want to see it, and I will showcase them. Cool. Okay, so obviously, if you've read the Herald's Guide, you've seen information on the flora, you've seen information on the fauna, and you may have seen information on the food. But what I did say is that there'll be more. So the food now has artwork. Every single piece of food that I've written in here has some artwork to go along with it. And it is beautiful. All my art, like Jan has done an amazing job on the art. They all look delicious. They all look very yummy. And I cannot wait to showcase this with people. But yeah, every single piece has got some artwork in it. So I think there's, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pieces of artwork for the food. Yeah, so for those of you who enjoy stuff like this, some deeper lore stuff, you've got some artwork to go along with it. My favourite might be the clarity. Just like, I wrote that down and then I went, yeah, I'm a big fan of clarity. You know, sharpens focus, enhances memory. It's clarity. And then you got the root gold cake, some void root stew, scar honey. It's made from the mutated flora that you find inside the Mirren Scar. You've got the banner bloom wine. You've got the tide glass preserves, the silverfin and dark bread. You got the iron vine cordial, the March grain biscuits, oath bread, the morning porridge. So these are more like if someone has passed, or if you have a oath that you're keeping, you would obviously use these for that as well. You'd break the oath bread when you're making like an oath. You've got scarwort vegetables, the ember loaf, some stone crab stew, and what I love is the idea that you just boil it inside them. Yeah, so, and they got stone fruit as well, which is just so tasty. I love the idea of it. And then you've got the ash grain. So yeah, there's loads of stuff in here, but it's more for the people who enjoy that aspect of world building, that aspect of lore. I hope that you do enjoy it, so that will come out. Then we have artwork update for one of the locations. It's the final location piece for the book. So, do you remember the Pass of the Twin Kings? Yes, do you remember it? Well, would you like to see what the artwork looks like? Here it is. This is the Pass of the Twin Kings. It is just, it's so good. It's so beautiful. I can't even, like, deny it. Just so good. The entire length of the piece is absolutely beautiful. So what I'll do, I'll just the full piece for you. There we go. Look at that. It's just so nice. But yeah. So I will be sending out this update today. I probably should add in some artwork of Dravik, shouldn't I? Probably a good idea. Yeah, let's add some artwork of Dravik in. Probably a good idea, right, guys? Yeah, so the city on top was never my intention. That was a placeholder piece. Um, but yeah. So this is also placeholder artwork. Um, it's still a work in progress, but I think it's going to help for keeping the actual thing done. Okay, so we'll just delete that. Just do. Oh, I can't be bothered. Let's just see if we can just do flood selects. Yikes. Don't like that. Yeah, that would work. And then... Okay. Oh, I don't care. I do not care that much. There he is. We'll just grab the boy. And we'll just... get rid of bits. It's just a work in progress, so it's just a placeholder piece. But... God... do not like the idea of having like background in there as well. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, this is probably the most boring thing ever, but I do want to apply the artwork into the Herald's Guide today, so that anyone who's got it can get a nice little update, because they did promise an update last week, but it didn't happen due to timing. Just get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, that works, right? Okay. Let's bring him into this. God. He's too hot. Look at him. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, okay, that's nice. I can fill in some information up here, and then what we'll do is we'll call that just a pre-situation, and then I'll fill it out slowly as we go, but it's enough for people to understand who he is. I'll write in some motivations for him, maybe a bit more than that, and then either today or tomorrow I'll have to make a decision. But this was really good. Thank you so much to everyone who came by, everyone who sat down and helped write some lore. I love writing lore bits. So I can also say lore streams will come back. I am literally focused on writing at the minute. I've got so many things I have to do for Legends, so many things I have to do for other stuff. But lore streams will be back. If you are interested in Legends of Akaroth, I am planning to do a read through of the book in the next couple of weeks before the campaign, and during the campaign I'll do it again. But basically we'll be going through the entire core rulebook, we'll be discussing it, we'll be talking about influences, talking about the rules, basically showcasing more. So if you haven't checked it out, then probably best, but we'll do that soon. But as I say, I really appreciate you guys sitting with me and getting some stuff done. How many words did we end up writing today? I don't know. 441. Not bad. I was aiming for 500 this stream, but if we take out the time that we took for just yapping and then watching the trailer for that other thing, I think we could have hit it quite easily. So I think that was pretty productive stream. 400 words, well, nearly 500 words in an hour. Not bad. Very impressive. So thank you so much, guys. As I say, there will be an update to the Herald's Guide either today or tomorrow, so keep an eye for that, up for that. And if I don't see you, thank you so much for sitting around and yapping with me for a bit. We'll be back to streams a bit more regularly, so I'm really excited for that as well. Yeah, so thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patience with this as well. I know that waiting for a product like this can take a while, and I do apologize. I'm working as fast as I can, but as you can see, the writing does take a while, but it's really fun to do, so there's that as well. Either way, have a fantastic week, and if I don't see you before the next stream, good evening, good afternoon, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Have a great day, because at the end of the day, we're all on an adventure. So yeah, head to the Discord if you want to chat some more about some lore. I will be just there throughout the day. But if you want to chat about any of the titles, the door is always open. So yeah, have a great day, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.